Okay, I want to talk about three TV shows that I like, that I enjoy, that I'm likely to rewatch, even though I have watched and rewatched the episodes of these three TV shows. These are not my only TV shows to watch that I enjoy, but I thought maybe I can start this kind of discussion by three. I believe these are um, not super popular shows, but I guess that would give us more reasons to talk about them. The first one is a TV show I think was made in between 2009 and 2011. Yes, original release September 2009, and it went on for 3 seasons until 2011. It was called Bored to Death, and I have this Wikipedia page open here. Bored to Death is an American comedy series that ran on HBO from September 20th, 2009 to November 28th, 2011. The show was created by author Jonathan Ames and stars Jason Schwartzman as a fictional Jonathan Ames. So Jonathan Ames is a character. It's the name of a character. Kind of gives an autobiographical flavor to the show, to the story. And the structure of the show, the way we experience the show is very fantastical. It feels like a fantasy, feels like something that you might experience in a daydream. The story begins with a breakup, which is a really great way to start any story. A breakup of a romantic relationship. And our main character, Jonathan Ames, his girlfriend leaves him at the beginning of the story. And he is a professional writer. He has, I think, when we find him at the beginning of the story, he has one book published, and he's struggling to complete or just start even writing his second book. And he has two friends. One of them is played by Zach Galifianakis, so great. The other one is played by Ted Danson. So the actors are really great. The writing is absolutely fantastic, funny, semi-philosophical. The friendships in the show are really great. The way this relatively older established man, and financially more successful, the Ted Danson character, the way he relates to the younger guy, the central character, Jonathan Ames, their friendship, the friendship between Jonathan Ames and the other guy, Ray Houston. Ray Houston, the third character in the show, is a comic book artist. And he also is going through his own relationship issues. So, okay, this is the first show. The other show is called Basket. Is it Baskets or Basket? It has gone so far through 4 seasons, total number of episodes 40, created by Louis C.K., Zach Galifianakis, and Jonathan Kreisel. And the main actor who plays more than one role is Zach Galifianakis. Now, Jonathan Ames, in the first TV show I talked about, he's a professional writer struggling with that profession and kind of feeling out of place. And the out of placeness is even more intense in Basket, because we have here a professional clown who is not just a clown by profession, but clown is kind of the existential, the way this person understands himself is and grasps his own position in the world is through this concept of clown. So clown is a way of being and living and being alive. And it's not just about financially surviving and making a living. It is about staying alive. You have to do something in this world to be recognized, to feel visible, to feel like you exist. And we also, as a result of this exploration, we kind of get an existential meaning of what it means to be a clown. To be a clown, not to do clownish things. To be a clown is, in some way, we can define it as a person who doesn't belong, who feels out of place, and who struggles to kind of find his or her place in the world without really wanting, in a completely unintentional way, creates funny moments through the perspective of other people. So we see a few glimpses of how he went to, in Paris, he went to a French acting school or clowning school. And the contrast between him and the fellow students there who are very serious, who are doing a good job at being clowning students, they are really succeeding in that, which is quite paradoxical, because by succeeding in their role as being good students in that institute, being fulfilling their role very appropriately, very properly in that institution, and the idea that clowning can be institutionalized and as it become a discipline, it's really weird. But because Zach Galifianakis, or what is his name? His surname is Baskets, Chip Baskets. His name is Chip Baskets. The contrast between the good, proper behaving clowning students and a real clown, a clown that is not totally a choice. He finds himself to be a clown, unlike this other students who have decided to. For them, it's a decision. For him, it's a discovery. And other than occasional moments of humor, this is an extremely sad show. But its sadness and its darkness has a kind of soothing effect on me. I relate to this character, Chip Baskets. I deeply, profoundly relate to this character and his expressions, his experiences, the way he's portrayed, the way he relates to his family members, his friends, other people in his life. His out of placeness. So this TV show went on from 2016 to 2029. I'm not sure if there are going to be. I'll be very surprised if there are more seasons, more episodes. But it's really great. I will definitely watch the 4 seasons again. Now, while in the first TV show that I talked about, Bored to Death, we confront a kind of emptiness of inexperience, a kind of boredom, as the title suggests. And in order to combat that boredom, the main character goes on the Craigslist and advertises himself as a private detective. So kind of like creating adventures to feel his life and become more of a grown-up, to go on adventures and like poke life and see what happens as a consequence. Now, Baskets is different. It is not. We don't find our character in Basket to have an empty life. Instead, there is a feeling of being overwhelmed by the mundane challenges of life, like things like even going to the grocery store and buying microwavable food. Even that can become a challenge for someone who just feels out of place. My favorite scene from this Basket TV show is a scene of an interaction between Zach Galifianakis and a coyote. And Zach ends up shouting at this coyote. And he says, he talks about just not belonging in this world. Not belonging in this world and struggling to continue. Then the dynamic between the characters is also quite interesting. Very calm, soothing. You know, a full understanding between characters almost never is never achieved. The best they can hope to accomplish is a negotiation and peaceful coexistence. You do your thing, I do my thing, and we just leave each other in peace. The last TV show that I wanted to mention is Last Man on Earth. Last Man on Earth by the great Will Forte. The Last Man on Earth also went on for 4 seasons and then got canceled without a satisfactory ending to the story. So created by Will Forte, starring Will Forte, Kristen Shaw, January Jones, Mel Rodriguez, Cleopatra Coleman, Mary Steenburgen, and more, way before COVID-19. And it is about a pandemic that extinguishes the human race almost completely, with the exception of the characters that we meet here. It's a very beautiful way to begin a story. We find our main character alone, completely alone. Nobody else is around. And the experience of loneliness is shown very, very well, very creatively, in a very funny way. Sad, but also funny. And it also, we also get ideas like, even if you are the last person on earth, whether you like it or not, you are inheriting all the cultural achievements, all the paintings. They're there for you to see and appreciate. And if you want, you can take some of those paintings and put it in your house. And then we see what happens when this completely solitary individual meets other people. And one of the things that happens is the moment there is more than one person, the moment there are 2 or 3 people, what is introduced in the dynamic of the interaction between these individuals is lying and not telling the truth, not showing the whole truth, because people want to, at least these characters want to control their self-image, their presentation, the way they are experienced and regarded by other members of their small community. And then they become a community and different things happen. But this is among the 3 TV shows that I talked about. This is, to me, the funniest one. I really laugh every time I see episodes, even from the first season. It's a really great show. But I should also add this note that don't get this. My recommendation, you should take it with a grain of salt, maybe a little bit more of a grain of salt, because I have never, ever recommended this TV show to anybody and then heard back from them that they liked it. They all told me, yeah, it's a bit weird. I didn't like it. Which probably explains why the show ended up being canceled. It's understandable, but it's a show that I personally, it's one of the best things I have watched in my life. I really like Will Forte and his absurdist sense of humor. The way his sense of humor is absurdist, but also it is very obviously uninhibited. And I also really enjoy that uninhibited style of humor. Kristen Shaw is great. The way desire is treated in the show also is worth discussing, thinking about. And leadership, making collective decisions, communal decisions. And in general, you wonder a lot. I mean, I wonder a lot about the question of the purpose of life. What is the point of living? In all these 3 shows. So all these 3 shows kind of respond to the questions about the meaning of life. They all respond in very different ways about our relationship to other people. How should we think about our relationship with other people, our interactions with each other, including our friends and our loved ones. And they also, all 3 TV shows treat the theme of being out of place, kind of, which is a very human experience. I mean, other animals can experience this. An animal is out of place when they are in a cage in a zoo. That's it. It's one way to be out of place. But human beings feel out of place even in the worlds of their own making. Doesn't map completely and perfectly with being free and being out of a cage. You can be free and still feel out of place as a human being. That's it. Hope that wasn't too long. Let me know if you have watched any of these 3 TV shows. Let me know what you think. And if you end up watching these TV shows, I would love to hear about your perspective. If, like my real life friends, if you find these to be weird choices. And I would like to hear about your favorite TV shows. What TV shows would you like to watch and rewatch? All right. That's all for now. Until next time.